I've had worse in my life. Again, I'm Larry LICHSTEIN. I will be your host this evening for this 4-game sweeper held here at Lightning Strikes. First place in the event is $750. Tomorrow, Robert Eddy, for the 5-game scratch event, has added $1,000 to first place, so it's $2,000 guaranteed first place tomorrow. And hopefully we'll be able to be up and running. We'll have some sound, and we'll get the show on the road. We do have only 8 of the 20 lanes I could be watching this evening, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 through 20. So we will have action on those 8 lanes, and we'll be able to bring you most of the bowlers as they come through our cameras this evening. Again, we want to apologize about not live streaming the 5-game sweeper today. We had some issues here at the bowling center. We are up and running, and we're ready to go tonight with this 4-game sweeper that we added. Now, we did have one last night. That was won by Mark Pulaski Jr. He is bowling tonight. We have a strong field tonight. Walter A. Williams is here, Don Barrett, Tom Doherty, Mark Pulaski Jr., Evan Baranicki, Tom Hankey from Great Barrington, Massachusetts, who is an intercollegiate champion from Weber, along with Evan Baranicki, will be bowling this evening. Again, these will be the cameras, 13 through 16 and 17 through 20. So we can bring you some action. Sorry we can't bring you more, but we're trying our best to get up and running this evening. Then we want to thank all of you for your patience, and it's good to be back tonight here at Lightning Strikes. Again, there's Pulaski Jr. getting ready. It's a strong field. And tomorrow we have a big field of 80 bowlers. We were up over 100 today. We did lose some that wanted to bowl some other events. But it'll be a strong field tomorrow with Walter Ray, of course, Doherty, Dave Stouffer, Evan Baranicki, John Janowitz should be here. It should be a great, great tournament this weekend here at Lightning Strikes. Mary Bernard doing the check-ins now, and we'll be up and running shortly. Just bear with us. We're trying to limp aboard here. It's been one of those days. It started off this morning pretty tough, and it got worse. But there's no quit in our staff here. Everybody trying their heart out to get up and running for all of you today. So we will be showing 8 of the 20 lanes, which is better than none. And we want to thank all of you for joining us here again today in Southwest Florida. Lots of friends on this evening. Again, we want to thank you for joining us here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. Got about 40 bowlers bowling tonight, which is great. $750 for first place. And again, it's a strong field with Barrett, Walter Ray, Tom Doherty, Baranicki, and a host of others that want to see if they could beat 3 of the best in the world. So bear with us. We'll be ready to roll shortly. Mary Bernard now getting all the entries in, and we'll start again. Again, a lot of people on watching. We appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming aboard. We will be going lanes 13 through 16 and 17 through 20. 8 lanes of the 20. Tomorrow we should be up and running with everything strong. We'll try to get it up in the morning for all of you. We do have about 80 bowlers. Lots of other cameras, but they locked up, and we didn't have time to get everything up for all of you. So again, my apologies. We try very hard to do that. As all of you know that have been watching our shows. Try very hard to bring you the best production we can, but unfortunately we're a little short tonight. Ryan Waddell is here. His mom watching, Renee. My friend Mike Lewis on from Dallas. Hello, Big Mike. Nice to have you aboard tonight. Leon Bailey is going to be watching Don Barrett. Leon Bailey from the United Kingdom is going to be watching the great Don Barrett tonight. Walter Ray is here. I did have a chance to say hello to Walter Ray. He'll be coming across the cameras. Chuck Jennings on, Harry Witt. Welcome aboard, everybody. Brandon Rucker, Frank Wilson, thank you so much. And we'll start another show. Again, a great tournament yesterday, won by Mark Pulaski Jr. Now, keep in mind, Pulaski Jr.'s got a secret shot here. Yesterday, he won, shot 781 out of the chute. He was the only bowler who used the urethane in the field. He was using the purple hammer. Now, the word might have got out that he won, going 10-7, 8, 9-7, 8-6, somewhere right in that zone. He had a great reaction. He didn't move his eyes or his feet on his first three pairs. The rest of the field was struggling horribly. In the last game on this pattern last night, the top six were 62 under with a high game of 207. So the fourth game, they got real ugly. And even Pulaski, who was 781 to start, shot 195. The high game of the top six bowlers last night was 207. So obviously, this pattern gets real ugly with oil going to the wrong spots. And the middle's hooking, OB to the right, throw it away a little too hard, throw it away where you just miss and get soft with the hand and miss it. It will not recover, cut it a little short, it will hook early. So again, it's going to be a very interesting tournament. Bowlers checking out the lanes and we'll be ready to go shortly. Joe Lassick on. Welcome aboard, everybody. Austin Andrews, Ashley Schwartz, Gabe Roa, Ken Buranis, John W. Welcome aboard. Terry Stacks, Ryan Waddell, Doug Clark. Lots of friends on tonight. Thank you so much for joining us here in Southwest Florida. I'm really curious to see if some of the big guns start with urethane after what was shot last night by Pulaski, his first three. And you could see on that rack, that ball is right there, right below his chin. That is a purple hammer. And he's got two of them out there. So again, it's going to be real interesting to see what goes on here tonight. I see a purple hammer on 15 and 16. Very interesting when we see that. So again, we'll get a better idea once they get into practice. John Van Baren on, the Bammer. Welcome aboard, John. Ken Lowe is on. Thank you, Ken. Greg, it's great to be back with all of you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Got a lot of viewers on, which is great. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll be full blast, but we do have action tonight. We had action last night. Barrett looked great. Barrett was the only one swinging the heads last night with a lot of hook on the back end and bowled very well the first three. It was 671 the first three. Then shot 160 his last game and he was gone. But just goes to show you how great he is. He was the only one laying it down on 30, crossing 16, 17 at the arrows, and really on 5 or 6 at the break point, very long down the lane, 45, 48 feet, and the ball just made a U-turn left. I kind of felt he couldn't keep that pace up simply because the transition was enormous, and obviously his last game he had 4 opens to shoot 163. but he is great and fun to watch. And we will have 8 lanes running this evening. Normally we would have a camera on 9 to 12. We're having a hard time getting that going. We're trying to see if we could find out what the story is with that. We didn't have sound in our opening, but we got that fixed. So we're back with you all for another night of great bowling here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. And for me, a long day. Was here this morning at 9:30 and went back to my RV, took a little snooze, got here about 4, and luckily we're up and running with all of you. It's just great to be back. We do have our interview cam working, so hopefully we can get some people in the booth here talking a little bit about their bowling. Stay here.
I know.
Okay, we're going to bring a guest in here, so bear with us, folks. He's going to come right in here and say hello to all of you. A dear friend of mine, and somebody you all know, of course. And we're honored and privileged tonight to have this legend here in our facility. And I'm sure all of you would like to hear what he has to say this evening. He'll be coming right over to be with us in a moment. Got a pretty good turnout tonight. Quite frankly, a lot of these people were already here to bowl and didn't want to go home. Kind of interesting. A little delay, but they're here and they're ready. And after the look that Pulaski Jr. had last night, I got to say he could very well be a factor again this evening. If the lanes are anywhere close to what they were, and very few of these people are prepared, and they're not using urethane, they might have an issue. So it's going to be kind of interesting to watch because he's got a secret shot, and 781 where the field, he was 100 pins ahead of second, literally after 3 games. Just ran away. Won 249, 279 the first 2, lost 2 pins in count. Came back with 253 with an open. And there was nobody even close. And then Pulaski shooting 195 in game 4, and of the high 6 bowlers behind them, their high game was 207. So it was one of those situations where there's no doubt he's got a great shot. And if they're similar to last night, he could run away again. He's good enough to do it. He did average 253 in this house on Thursday or Wednesday evenings for about the first 33 games. So keep in mind, he is very used to the environment here. And he's quite a good bowler. It's not lucky. That's 781. He's bowled many times in this facility, but not with urethane. So that's going to be a very interesting scenario this evening. Now I got a buddy of mine coming in here who I'm going to check on some dates with him. He's coming over here now, and I want to ask him some dates. I sort of have an idea about him, but I wanted you to hear him. And he's coming in right now, my dear friend, who I believe, well, come on aboard here. Come on in and sit down with this old man.
How you doing, Litchy?
Of course, for all of you, you know who this is. This is the great Walter Ray Williams. Thanks for coming down today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I was trying to think now. I remember we spoke the last time I saw you, I believe, at Bowl Expo in Morgantown. And we met in '81 at Gable House Bowl in L.A., or that was your first PBA event?
My first national tournament would have been probably Gable House.
Yes. '81, I think?
Probably, or Wonder Bowl.
Or the Wonder Bowl in Downey.
Yeah, I think Wonder Bowl Downey.
Yeah,
I didn't make it out of the PTQ.
Wonder Bowl Downeys. That was 40 years ago this January.
That's right, yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. From that day to now, did you ever think you'd have this career?
No.
You answered that pretty quick.
Not at all. No, especially at that time. I mean, later on, you know, I got to be pretty decent after going on tour.
Yes.
When I first went on tour, I was decent.
Yes.
But I didn't have expectations to have a career like I've had.
118 PBA wins, is it?
Totally, yes.
118 wins. Did you ever dream of anything like that?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not even close.
Not even close.
No.
It's an amazing, amazing career, and I was lucky enough to see just 15 years of it. Obviously, I haven't been out there for 24 years, but when I saw you as a young man and the tear you went on from your first bowler of the year, which I believe was 85 or 86, somewhere in there.
86.
And then from then on to 96, you know, I saw it, and then the rest of the country watched it like I did on TV. But even after 50, you still maintained an unbelievable career.
Well, I did. When I was 50, I managed to have one more good year on tour. Since then, I haven't bowled very well on tour. Bowling on the senior tour, I've done all right though. You know, it's fun bowling with the guys that you're peers with, but these young guys are very, very good. You know, the average person probably has no idea how good these guys are. They watch the guys on TV and they say, oh, they shoot 220s or 230s. I can do that, but the playing conditions they're bowling on are way more challenging than anything they ever see, and they make them look easy.
Now, you know, we're having a PBA stop here in April we've signed.
Yes.
And you're going to be bowling it?
I'm planning on it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
we'd love to see you win here.
Well, I would love to, too.
You know, you're going to be one of the favorites. Obviously, everybody knows who you are. And we're honored that you're going to bowl with us here in April.
Plenty of good competition, so it's just a matter of...
now, is Barnes a rookie this year? Barnes coming out?
He will still be a rookie. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of them. You got Tom Hess.
Tom Hess, great bowler, won the Masters. Brad Angelo, great bowler.
Jason Couch.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, and there's a couple other guys too. But those are some of the
big
stars.
names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys that still go on tour and stuff, and yeah.
Now you're still with Brunswick, right?
I am.
You're with Brunswick.
Yeah.
Do you throw all the brands?
I can. I haven't thrown all of them, but I'm able to.
You're able to.
Yeah. I think there's plenty of balls and even just Brunswick brand, but I do have a few hammer balls and a few DV8s and a few radicals. Some of the other EBI lines I haven't really gotten into yet, but you know, if there was something I thought was special, I would probably go out and get it. But there's plenty of good balls for me to choose from, and I think, you as good as the balls are, I still think it has the guy throwing the ball is a bigger.
Well, no
influence.
question. Now, I got another question for you. Do you think you've bowled 1,000 PBA events?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh,
1,000 events?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been on. This is my. Well, I bowled 37 years as of last year, so you can figure a lot of those years I was averaging 30 tournaments a year. The last 15 probably 20 or 25. So
Yeah. What a career. Unbelievable longevity.
Definitely unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable longevity. I don't think we would ever expect that, even when you first started, to still be doing this 40 years. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, when I started on tour, there were very few guys over 40 bowling full time.
That's correct.
And that's kind of what I thought. I thought when I got to 40, I'd probably retire.
Yes.
But when I was 40, I'm like, I might as well do this a couple more years. I probably should have retired from the full tour, but I love competition, and I think it helps me stay a little sharper bowling with the young guys to bowl on the senior tour.
Yeah.
But these young guys are very good. I have all the respect in the world for them, and I'm a little stubborn. I keep thinking, maybe one day I can actually get some of that magic back, but the reality is I'm 61. I'm not nearly as young as I used to be, and age does make a little difference. So.
I was figuring, I know that you probably bowled, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm right. I believe you bowled against the last 50 bowler of the years, going back to Nelson Burton. I think Hardwick was gone in '69. Stefanich was gone by the time you... I don't know, you might have bowled Stefanich.
Stefanich was still on tour.
Did you bowl Don Johnson?
I didn't actually bowl against... I don't think I bowled against Don. I don't think... Yeah. I think he actually retired from the tour.
And Don McCune was gone.
Don still bowled a couple of tournaments.
Yeah. But, what a record to bowl against 50 bowler of the years or winners of that award. I was starting to think about that tonight because when you started, full time, a lot of those guys were still bowling.
Yeah.
And so you go back 7 decades as far as bowling against the men that were bowler of the years in the 60s to now, which is unheard of in any sport. But what a statistic that is.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'm trying to think of all the things you did today because I was hoping we could talk a little. And, of course, I had the honor to be, part of your life for a while, for 15 years.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had a lot of fun in Morgantown when you came to visit us there.
Yeah.
Did a lot of coaching there with a lot of the bowlers there.
Hopefully I didn't mess too many people up.
No. No, you left everybody with the impression you leave all your friends as you're a consummate professional.
Well, thank you.
We're honored to have you.
I'm going to go.
Good luck.
Hopefully I can throw a few strikes with you.
Good luck. Get ready. We're going to watch you win.
I don't know about winning, but I'm going to do my best.
All right. Take care. The great one. How about that? Still going strong after 40 years of bowling. Maybe 1,300 PBA events. Just an unbelievable record. And an honor for us here today to have Walter Ray bowling in our event. And a lot of fun. Great player. And we're going to see what he does. We'll find out shortly, won't we? Again, I wish we had more cameras for you, but this is what we will have. 13 through 20. We do have a 9 and 10 camera, 11 and 12, but it was a rocky start, and we just couldn't get it working in time. We were trying, but unfortunately, we were not able to do it. So again, my sincerest apology. And we'll be going shortly. Pretty good sweeper tonight. $750 guaranteed for first by Robert Eddy, and tomorrow $2,000 guaranteed for first in the event. Sheila Hankey's on. Gonna try to see her son Tom tonight if we get him up to lanes 13. Tom Hankey has won this event. So has Evan Baranicki. So has Tom Doherty. So we have 3 previous champions of our singles event, which will be tomorrow, have won this event. This is a prelude to it tomorrow, but we know tomorrow Stoffel will be here. He's won it. We're hoping Janowitz shows up tomorrow. See a lot of Kegel shirts and Weber shirts out there. Obviously, we're honored that the young bowlers from Lake Wales area are here today. Aaron Johnson on. Dave Forbes Jr., the general managers of Audi of Fort Myers, a dear friend of mine. Audi of Fort Myers with 95 two-day usages going out on Tuesdays. And Dave Forbes, tomorrow in our stepladder, if anybody bowls 300, Audi of Fort Myers will give them a $500 bonus. So tomorrow, there will be 8 games bowled in the stepladder. Somebody throws 300, they'll pick up a Finsky from Dave Forbes and Audi of Fort Myers. Again, we want to thank all of you for being with us. Quite a field. Naturally, with Don Barrett in there and Tom Doherty, Robert Hilton right there in the orange is our defending champion. He won the November event. And Robert Hilton is a factor in this house, and Baronicki right there won one of our earlier events about a year ago before COVID. He was a winner. And Mark Pulaski Jr. has won one of these events. So there's 3 winners right now that have won this 5-game scratch event. Keep in mind, tomorrow they'll bowl 5 games. Game 6 is a position round game. And we usually cut to the top 25%. So if 80 bowlers bowl tomorrow, 20 will make the cut. They'll bowl 1 game. It's a position round. The top 5 will go to the stepladder, which will be held on 25 and 6. And we know those work because there they are. That's what it'll look like tomorrow. The pairings were already made, so we couldn't move people. They were already in the computers. So we will have 8 lanes going this evening. And again, another great day for bowling here at Lightning Strikes in Fort Myers. And the new floors are put in by David Stouffer this week. Just an unbelievable look in this center now. And you can see the gray floors now are in, and our new settees done with our keypads, and the place coming alive with all of the additions that we've done. Dave Tessman on. Welcome aboard, Tessie. Got at least 40, it looks like, out there. Pretty good turnout considering, we're late. But these are bowlers. They want to bowl. They didn't want to go home. And Robert Eddy stepping up to the plate, guaranteeing the first place and adding extra 1,000 tomorrow on top. So be ready to roll shortly. Looks like about 40, I would say. Give or take a bowler or 2. And this is the first time we've bowled this late on a Saturday. Interesting. 7:30 start. And normally we're done about now. And everybody's on their way home. And tonight, a late start. But these are bowlers, and they want to bowl.
Tournament bowlers, welcome back to Lightning Strikes.
What about it?
Tournamentbowl.com. Yes, Mary.
To the right after each game.
Okay, we're getting ready now. Announcements will be made.
Consoles to get your practice on.
And we'll be starting the action
For
here.
your 10 minutes of practice.
We'll be watching the warm-ups here, and I'm really curious to see right here what Pulaski does. And if that's purple in his hand, and it should be, after running away and hiding yesterday, that looked like resin.
He's setting it up.
Okay, you might have to do it, Larry. So we will have Barrett and Williams coming into our picture later in the action. And Doherty. They're starting down the lower end. Yeah, they look very similar to yesterday right now. That hold area and that longer hold is gone. And you can see a lot of balls through the nose. And if you swing it there right, you see the 3-6, 3-6, 9-10. If you look at the splits in practice, and the 3-6-10s, and you start to see that. And then the washouts, you know what you've got. Little OB if you swing it, cut it a little short through the beak. And they look like they did yesterday, and I expect urethane to come out very shortly for Pulaski Jr. See that ball that Covington threw right there? Normally that's a strike in this house. It's a shorter oil pattern. And look at all the balls through the nose. See it? They're all going left, every one of them. And if you open the lane up and get it to 4 or 5, you missed the head pin right. So what we have is very similar to yesterday, and I'm thinking it's about lay down 8, 9, maybe 7 as far right as 7, and urethane on the right, and we'll find out and see if Pulaski does it. He hasn't done it yet, but if he goes to that purple ball and gets that look that he had last night, and there it is. That looked like the purple ball. That's going to be interesting. See, even Cobb, who throws it straight's going Brooklyn. So they hook when you go at them, and they sail a little when you go away, and that usually means tough scores. As you can see, a lot of balls through the nose, and Baronicki light when he's trying to go up the gutter. A very tricky condition, especially with the carry down going into the last game. And tomorrow, with 5 games and then a cut, those last 3 could be treacherous. And it's just a question now of not digging a hole early and holding on the last 3. And I believe that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Don't dig a hole. See, that was his urethane ball right there, and it did go long. Very interesting. See Baronicki, that ball's too strong. See it? A good shot. Lay down right at the arrows, and it's just hooking way too early off the oil because it's a shorter oil pattern. Let's watch Pulaski. And see, even his ball's hooking, and that's urethane. So now I got to figure he's got to go 2-1 to the right, maybe 2-2 or to the left. If he can get that ball to hold a little bit, he'll be deadly. You can see all the balls going high. He's got a soft hand. That gentleman there, soft hand, not a lot of tilt. Walter Ray might bowl well on this. Be kind of curious to see what he does when we finally get him on camera. Great player, living legend. He answered immediately when I said, did you ever think you'd win 118 tournaments, PBA events? There was no within a half a second. Neither did anybody else. And there it is. There's the look. See that? He's got the same look he had last night. The ball does not jump, even though he's not over swinging the heads. He's tight through the front, and the ball went solid, and everyone else, their balls are on the nose from the same angle with resin. And I cannot believe after he won last night, evidently the word didn't go out quick enough, but you could just see it when he threw that last ball. It laid right there where everybody else's ball in that same spot's hitting the beak and going high. And his laid right there off the oil. It never jumped. It moved gradually left. And if he has that look, he will be a factor again. Let's see if he has it on this left lane here. Oh boy, he's got it again. See it? Everyone else's ball on that same spot is through the nose or Brooklyn. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And no one has got one. He's got a secret weapon. He's got that purple grape. If he pops 780 out of the chute again for 3, and these people didn't know what he did last night, they'll know it tonight. And they've got to come in tomorrow on this shot with urethane if they brought any with them. I would think they would have known that it was not going to be a house shot. Look at that. Oh, brother. That ball's Brooklyn for most people in this house right now. Look what Baranecki's ball's doing from the same spot. Brooklyn. Or out the window. See it? Pretty good shot there for Zielinski. So we know now that it's urethane. Up 8-9. 7 right at the pocket. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us this evening. I'm Larry Lichtenstein. I do all the live streaming here. I've been doing this now for about 16 months for Robert Eddy. And for an old man like me, an old dinosaur, this is an honor and thrill. Believe me, I love doing this. It's changed my life. Gives me a chance to talk about the sport I've loved for 60 years and watch some great bowlers, some great young bowlers, some veterans. Dave Covington right there on 15 won the Resident Pro Championship here in Florida, the PBA Resident Pro in 1992. Great bowler, still is at 58. And I love the Weber International shirts. I was close with the Davis family. When I first moved to Florida, I worked at Kegel, at the old Kegel Training Center in Sebring, before they went to Lake Wales, and I watched that company grow. And for what they've done for bowling in the world, and especially the young bowlers in Florida and the people that have went to school at Weber, Evan Baranecki, of course, Tom Henke, bowling tonight. Just a great company. Randy Stoughton, Del Warren, very good friends of mine. Great, great company. Beautiful game there. How about the stroke on that young man? Wow. He throws it great. On 14, I like the way he throws it. Oh my God, look at Covington's ball. He's got to get rid of that. I mean, he's got nothing. See Beloff there. Now, young boy, two-hander. Really an improved bowler. A year ago, he was averaging 130. I kid you not. This young boy come out of nowhere, starting to really bowl well. A wonderful young man. Works here at our center, learning how to bowl. A year ago, averaging 130, and tonight he's in a tournament with Walter Ray Williams, Don Barrett, Tom Doherty, Evan Baranecki. Imagine a year ago averaging 130 And tonight, bowling with the greatest bowler that ever lived. And there used to be a song by Dinah Washington called What a Difference a Day Makes. Well, in bowling, it's a little longer, but what a difference a year makes. See a young boy averaging 130, all of a sudden he's bowling in the same tournament with Walter Ray Williams. That alone is storybook, if you ask me. And fun to talk about.
Tournament bowlers, get your lanes on for score. Press your trap.
And here we go.
Consoles. Good luck and good bowling.
And again, another great, great evening here at Lightning Strikes, put on by our host, Robert Eddy, our staff, Mike Alshire, Dave Stouffer, Ricky Ward, Billy Seymour. All of us want to thank all of you for being with us. And of course, Mary Berner, our tournament director. She got that one really in. Pulaski did. We know the middle's hook, so even that urethane ball just had no chance. Let's watch this lefty right here now. See what the left side looks like. Beautiful game. How's that stroke? Wow. Beautiful. Effortless power. And this is the middle of the road shot. It's a Kegel shot. Mike McKay on. Eric Stone, welcome aboard, everybody. Cooper Gates, Jacques Williams, thank you all so much for joining us. Rick Wilbur, Leon Bailey, Joe Barner, Mike Quirk, thank you. Brandon Rucker, Renee Waddell, Harry Wright, Leon Bailey, and the list goes on and on. A lot of regulars. Aaron Johnson on tonight, Sheila Hankey, Dave Forbes Jr., Jennifer Dover's. Great game on Jennifer Dover's. Nice to have Jennifer aboard. Jordan Fraser, Bob Lockhart, Ken Lowe, Gary Fox, Terry Lees, Steve Callier watching. Hope you're doing better, Steve. Looking forward to seeing you. Glad you're recuperating. Steve Callier, a great, great bowler here in Southwest Florida. And had open heart surgery about a month ago. He's doing well. John Bouvet, Scott Berry, Frank Schultz, Austin Andrews, Kenny Buranis, Mike Lewis, my friend from Dallas, Terry Baranecki, Evan's mom, Doug Clark, Craig Auerbach. Had a great group.
Tournament ball?
Yep. And our scratch, four-gamer. Our four-gamer tonight should be on tournamentbowl.com. We're going to be checking it out now. Yeah, there it is. And we'll have that up for you. Give you the scores after each game. Just bear with us, folks.
Do we have the best owner ever, Larry?
We have the best owner ever, James.
It's unbelievable.
I know. Okay, here we go. Got Tournament Bowl in now.
Take care of it. Everybody benefits this one in the air conditioner right now.
Danny Hyamon, welcome aboard, Danny. Pulaski Jr. did baby split in the first and make it. Really yanked it. Let's see where this one is. See, that one was way in. See it, and it held. Anybody throws the ball with that angle right there, they're runaway Brooklyn with resin. It will not hold. Looks like there's a little more carry down now. They have tightened up slightly after practice. And maybe resin will work if the back end's tamed down. But if that ball starts jumping early, they don't have any chance. Because if that's to swing the heads, it will not come back. So we're going to be watching that. And that's what you can't do right there, what Cobb just did. You cannot give away any pins on this pattern. That's a minus 11. Now needs 2 doubles or a triple to get it back. Going to waste 3 strikes or 4 because he can't make a 10-pin. Looks like Hilton's got a good look. I wonder what ball that is. That's dangerous if he has that look with resin. And we've seen that in this house all year. This house is known for that. Ball breaking late, head pin in front of the 7, 6 lays in the flat gutter, 5 goes behind the 7. And the dreaded 7-10. What we haven't seen is anybody make it. I've not seen the 7-10 made in this house yet. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us here on this Saturday evening. Tomorrow the tournament starts at 12 noon. Again, they will bowl 5 games, cut to the top 20% of the field. Game 6, a position round. We will go to the step ladder. $2,000 for first place. Robert Eddy adding $1,000 because we added a day. That tournament tomorrow was supposed to be running today. So Robert, in typical Robert Eddy fashion, said, well, I'll put another $1,000 in there. Show everybody my appreciation for bowling in my center. And this is a very special man. Not only is this bowling center run by serious lifers, but think about this for a minute. Mike Alshire, our general manager, led the nation 5 years ago on average with 254. His assistant general manager, Billy Seymour, averages 230 and had 835 about 3 weeks ago in league. David Stouffer, in charge of construction, has won the Proprietors event here in Florida 5 times, won the initial Florida's Bowlers Tour about a month ago, and beat Norm Duke in last year's Masters. Ricky Ward runs the Pro Shop. 43 televised PBA finals, 6 PBA titles. Mary Berner averages 220. She's our tournament director. And yours truly, Larry the Dinosaur, has been in bowling centers for 60 years. So when you think about a staff where every single bowler or employee in key positions are all veterans, lifers, bowl junior leagues, I believe that is one of the keys to success, and the other one, of course, is Robert Eddy investing in a building that was ready for the wrecking ball. Rebuilt every pin setter, bought a Kegel Flex machine, put in new pins. And there's our settee area. As you can see, new floors, new carpets in the back, keypads, touchless screens. This is Cubica scoring. New carpets this week. The old carpets are out. course, we still have an air condition issue. We do have a new chiller coming, and when that comes, the generator that didn't work this morning will be gone. We've been running on generator power for our air conditioning unit for 6 months, a diesel generator powering up our chiller. And that's going to be replaced shortly. And the work never ends. And we've got a great group tonight watching. Beth George, Brianna MacGyver, Gary Fox, Cooper Gates, Jake Williams, who is always on with me. Jake. You and Cooper Gates, my God. Leon's part of the crew now. Larry Hall at Iowa. Christian Butler, welcome aboard all of you. And Richard Rump is back, thank God. And Andrew Candelero, who moved to Las Vegas, who lived here in Southwest Florida. I hope you're doing well. Andy, I miss you, brother. I hope you and your friend are having a good life out there in Lost Wages. And now Baranecki, the great champion, the great graduate of Weber. And he knows right now, as you can see, of course we don't see the low end, and obviously there's some horses down there with Walter Ray and Doherty and Barrett. I wish we could get the cameras on, but we will. We'll see them at the end of this thing, and that'll be really interesting to see how they do. This young man here's got a great game. Watch this young man here on 14. Beautiful. Oh, look at that stroke. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful stroke. Wow. Pure there. It's a power stroke. Not a big boy either. You think of Pete Weber and Norm Duke, the careers they've had as smaller men. This young boy here looks like he's about the size of Pete Weber 40 years ago. Beautiful footwork, beautiful arm swing. There's Don Barrett. We'll be seeing him shortly. What a wonderful, wonderful man. What a credit to his country and the PBA and Brunswick. He is a class act if there ever was one, folks. Now, Ryan Waddell's struggling. We're going to hope for him. His mom's watching. Love to see Ryan get it going here. Pulaski Jr., you can't do that, Mark. You cannot flag a 6-pin. Not good. When strikes are tough, 1-pinners are critical. Now, missing a 6-pin and a 10-pin are no-nos. And Robbie McDonald naturally has to tell everybody, I've been around since Fred Flintstone. Thank you very much, Robbie. Thank you so much for the compliment. I really appreciate it, Hoss. Thank you so much. Dave Stolfer, I wish I was there having ribs with you folks. I wish your wife, Tammy, a very happy birthday. And I congratulate her for being with you all these years. She is some woman. That's all I could say. She gets the Woman of the Year award from Uncle Litchie. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Cooper. The last time we saw that with Ryan O'Page, lost by 7 pins, and he missed a 6-pin early in that match against Stewart. And on something like this, I'm not so sure you want to be missing 6 pins. Now, who's got 5 in a row here? Is that the lefty? Is there a little secret on the left that we don't know about, folks? Let's find out right now. Walter Ray was so complimentary of the young bowlers, and that was a very nice interview I had with Walter Ray. I hadn't talked to him in a while, and he is obviously such an iconic figure that no matter what bowling center he goes in, oh, that's a great shot. Is that 6? Oh, and the left side, ladies and gentlemen, and that looks like urethane. Let's see if it is. Let's watch that thing come up the ball return here. What is that? No, that's resin. That's pearlized. He's got a great look off the corner on the left. And Covington with a 5-bagger. Okay, so look, he's opening the lanes up now. And I did not think we would see that tonight, but there's somebody opening them up, quality player, and getting a very good reaction. So we didn't see a lot of that last night. We see a little more tonight. It looks like you can open them up, and there isn't quite that early hook and OB if you overswing it. So that might be a factor also in the scores, because we know Barrett was opening the lanes up last night tremendously. So that could change the complexion of things. Garrett's throwing a Tundra. Well, thank you, Kristen. Thank you for letting us all know that. A Tundra. And he's got a Tundra of strikes out of the chute. I loved it when I started the tournament with the first 6. Oh, what a thrill it was to shoot 250, 260 in game 1. I also had a tournament in 1975, I'm not exaggerating, where I started with the first 7 open frames. I had 7 9 outs, or 9 after 2 balls, 63 in the 7th on my birthday, my 26th birthday, May 17th, 1975. I bowled the Vargo at Carroll Air Lanes in New Jersey on a celebrity squad. He oiled the lanes with a floor mop, had 5-pound pins. I was 63 in the 7th. Got my first mark in 8th frame and yelled out happy birthday to the crowd and got a standing ovation. There was bleachers. Earl Anthony was bowling, Wayne Zahn, Dick Ritker, Johnny Petraglia, Ernie Schlegel, Mike Lemongello, and Larry was 63 in the 7th. Just loving it. People want to know why I'm an announcer. Now you'll know. Now, David Stouffer's making ribs tonight. His wife's 50th birthday. That's why Stouffer isn't here. And Bruce Kaiser's over there at Stouffer's because Bruce Kaiser refuses to pay for a meal. And Joey Baxter's there, and he flew in from Detroit to get free ribs. So, knowing Gary Seward, he's there because it's free beer. Knowing Ricky Ward, he's there because everything is free. And I'm here and I got to work. What a bargain. Baranecki right now in what we call deep doo-doo, and he never comes back hanging his head, folks. One thing about Evan is you don't see that in the body language. Let's watch this young left-hander here throwing the Tundra. And that is a beautiful game with a beautiful reaction. And I'll tell you one thing, if he has that shot across the house, it's over. Now Baranecki, 105 in the 7th, and you just don't see that with Evan. But we're all human. His mom watching got to be a little disappointed now, and The old saying by Jim McKay, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And those 160 games are the agony of defeat, folks. We all know that. Spencer Eddy tripping to 4-9. He'll be up next with Don Barrett and his dad, our great owner. Covington looking good. He's got a look, and he's tough. Not good there. A lot of spare misses. Look at that. Oh, boy, 88 in the 7th. So as you can see, some of the bowlers is really struggling. And a few of them, like Covington and this young man right here, coming up. We'll come right back to him. Let's see what Pulaski does. Now, he is on a double. Missed a 6-pin. And got a little bit right there. You see, he doesn't have quite that look he had last night. Is this Cobb on 4 in a row? Let's watch Cobb. See, he can throw it straight. This should be a good shot for him right up and at him. And Cobb looking good tonight. And Cobb with 5, getting the ball a hole there. So he looks like Walter Ray. If he get lined up on this around 10, 11, that would be interesting. Let's watch the young lefty here now. Who got that in? Barrett shooting the 7-10 right there to the left. Again, 40 bowlers bowling. We will be using tournamentbowl.com to show you the standings. That's a great shot there. That a boy. That's a triple. He just saved a triple right there. That's a 7-2 about 95% of the time. So there's 3 strikes that are now a plus instead of getting them even. Ashley Schwartz on. Rick Wilbur, great picture of you and John on Facebook, Rick. You're a good-looking guy, Rick. God, you look young. And Robert Hilton with the delayed messenger, and I think the pin setter hit it. I don't have instant replay, but it looked like that might have to be a reset. We'll find out. No, I wish I was. I've got 13 through 20. I couldn't, it was too late. Everything was in and I couldn't say nothing. And Cobb looking good now. Cobb, who bowled Barrett last night very late and got beat badly. Coming back today looking good. Let's go back to Baranecki now, in a lot of trouble, and this is a big shot here. He's got to get something to stay close. Oh boy, look at that. His 4th split in 9 frames after practice. So we all know what that is. It's called being lost. And as good a bowler as he is, right now he knows he's in a lot of trouble for tomorrow. And everything he's got hooks too much, and when he tries to take his hand out of it, he's not that good at it on this condition. So he needs to get some urethane in his hand. And he's got to be sick because this is his meat. Tough shot, not a house shot. He knows it. And he's got nothing but a headache. And this is something that our bowlers only see in this house on this scratch event. This is the only time we really put out anything other than one of our 2 or 3 house shots. So it does even it out. You don't want the house bowlers bowling in something they're perfectly familiar with in a scratch event. So they have to start over in here like everybody else. And as you can see, Baranecki and Waddell are lost, and they bowl here all the time. And right now, between both of them, they're not going to break 300 for 2. And but yeah, Cobb holding his own. Again, he can pipe it. He can take his hand out of it. He doesn't have a lot of hand anyways. So, I mean, he can thumb it and just not lift the ball and basically fudge it, as we used to call it, through the front. And he's got a great look right now. And, again, very little hand, but very accurate. Very low rev rate. Right now, that looks like a bonus on this shot. That's why I was wondering about Walter Ray. He loves them like this. And Pulaski Jr. just not quite what he had last night. Last night, 249 in game 1. Now look at that look Cobb's got. Almost stole it. Still a great game with an open. 247. So Cobb now, interestingly enough, throwing resin, not a lot of head belly, not a lot of revs, just scooting it through the front. Let's watch the young lefty now, who did open. Covington still with a great start if he makes a spare at 236.
Hey, Larry.
Yes.
Mike wants to know why you ain't showing 9, 10, or 11, or 12.
Because between and the lefty with 245, 255 with an open. So obviously, that young man there has got a great shot, and if he can get that on this next pair.
I was asked to turn these in. Do I turn them into you or over there?
And Hilton 2 opens for 2-0. So right now we had 247 for Cobb, 255 for the young left-hander to the left of him. So those are 2 very good scores. Dave Covington with 236. So scores are decent. Next group will be coming up now as we finish here on 13 and 14. Again, I'm real curious to see what Walter Ray and Doherty and Barrett bowled down there. And of course, we will be getting them in games 3 and 4. We'll get Barrett this next game, which is going to be great to watch because he's just a great stylist and a great talent. Now keep in mind, if they're skipping a pair, we'll get Barrett on 15 and 16. And Covington, who likes to open a lane up, shot 236. And we know Barrett can open them up, so that should be interesting. Because if Barrett gets that look that Covington had, that could be a big game. Pulaski certainly doesn't have that look that I thought he would with urethane. He looks to be struggling. Not as sharp as he was last night. I thought the ball looked pretty good in practice, but it just doesn't seem to have that same look. And the old saying, what a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. Eric Brunson watching tonight, Richie Amodio, Sherry Mertz, Flory Cobb, welcome aboard, Ashley Schwartz, Ron Richards. And Pulaski open again, and here we go. Now Barrett's coming up here with Spencer Reddy. Scott Dennis. Well, different pairs, yes, but, you know, this is the same thing. This is the middle of the road, that's for sure. But again, we all know that you can oil them identical every day and get a slight difference. And there could very well be a difference today because we oiled them in these lanes sat a while. And sometimes the length of time that the lanes sit on a fresh pattern where no one bowls is a factor. See, he moved out there, and he just got that same look Baranicki's got, called the lost look. Look at Covington right here now. Pretty good shot there for the first frame. Let's watch, see what the lefty's got. Now, this is going to be real interesting here. Oops, that was in. Boy, it held too. Oh my God. He's got room. That ball held. I said your name correct, Sherry? Sherry, I'm the worst at spelling that ever lived and pronouncing that ever lived. So for me to get your name right means I should buy a Powerball ticket tonight and see if I can win 700-800 million or whatever that thing is that's worth enough to buy the Empire State Building. Robert Hilton now, pretty good look there with a double. All right, we're going to watch Barrett for a while now. We're going to keep the camera on the Dominator and see what he's got. There's the boss, Robert Eddy. He'll be bowling next on our pairs. Whoops, that's gone. I'm curious to see what the lefty's got here on 16. He got that last ball in an enormous amount, and it stopped. And he might have released it bad and just yanked it. But he was not playing anywhere near there his first game. He was not on a second arrow in his first game, not even close when he shot 255. And that ball went high flush. He yanked it an arrow. But sometimes you do that, you know, you don't lift it. It'll go straight, of course. Let's see what he does here now. See, there he is. He's outside. Oh, boy, now he's got a little issue now, doesn't he? See, he swung the heads there, got the OB. So that 250 was a great start, but all of a sudden, don't want to give it back. Let's watch the Dominator now. Team Brunswick, great player. The 2018 U.S. Open champion. And oh boy, see that? Got the flutter and the look. See the look? The look of, why did my ball skid? Pulaski Jr. in trouble. Does not have what he had last night. I thought he did in practice. He switched balls, moved in, and got off the urethane. So we know now that it might not be urethane. And I thought it was in practice. He looked great. And it carried down a little more. And it seems like the resin balls now do give you a shot at the pocket. Just never know anymore. There's so many variables involved. It's a crapshoot at times. A lot of it's the luck of the draw. You hit the right pairs, and the scores are up. And here we go. It's score time.
Going to the right tournament.
That's it. And here comes the standings. And here we go. John Huff out of Naples, Florida. Charlie Bostic, Garrett Wolf, Spencer Eddy with 254. Scott Cobb, big scores in game one. Carlos Granados, Dave Covington, Chuck Williams. And I can't say that one. That's going to take me a little practice. And Ron Hurt at 212. But if you'll notice, low scores up to 7th place. And all of a sudden, pretty good scores with Carlos, Scott, Spencer, Garrett, Charles, and John Huff. There we are in game one. Chris Keene getting out of the box slow. Barrett 192. Walter A. Williams 200. Tom Doherty 188. So right now the big guns are not being heard from on this pattern. That's for sure. The big guns are not being heard from yet. Interesting. Walter Reed, the high game with 200 between Barrett, Doherty, and Williams. Now Spencer Eddy, big game, the owner's son, a good bowler, goes to Florida State, has bowled very well in the Teen Masters and Junior Gold in his young career. It's Robert Eddy's boy. Look at that, in front of the second set of dots, looks short steps. Oh, the pattern is definitely touchy and speed sensitive, Sherry. Very good observation there. It's, I mean, they're not super tough, or you wouldn't see those scores. There's obviously some bowlers that bowl very well in game one. But a lot of transition coming. And if it's anything like last night, they are a little different. That last game last night, the top 6 bowlers, the high game was 207. Including Barrett, who had 163. And these 6 bowlers bowled 60 under. The top 6 averaged 190 their last games last night. That's Mark Pulaski included, who went 781 the first 3. So, anytime you see numbers like that, after they've bowled 3 games, you'd figure they'd be lined up. And they shoot about 1136 for 6. And they're the top 6. That's a tough shot. This is what the scratch bowlers want. They'll all tell you this. They do not want to bowl on house shots. I don't blame them. And they thrive on tough patterns. They want to be accurate. They want to be speed sensitive. They want to have a board and a half instead of 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. Spares shooting is now at a premium. Let's watch the young lefty right here now, who got out of the box with 255, and he's in trouble. And all of that could go in one game. Spencer Eddy with a good reaction there, up about 6-7, right at the pocket. You know what I love? There's something about bowling when, and for a lot of us here, when in your bowling center, you're bowling against a man that you watched on TV for 40 years, a U.S. Open winner, and Tom Doherty, who is definitely one of the top 20 in the world. And these people that all entered this event knew they were coming, okay? The word's out. They know who's bowling. And if you'll notice, they hung around all day, not even knowing for sure if we were going to have this event. And they're bowling with the greatest bowler that ever lived tonight. And for me personally, to watch this and think of it that way, that these people are bowling with a man from England that could beat anyone in the world, including Belmonte, Walter Ray Williams, who's beat everybody in the world for 40 years, and Tom Doherty, who is just a fierce competitor and great bowler. And yet they're here. A lot of these people I've never heard of, but they're here, they want to bowl, and they want to bowl the best that ever lived. And that's what makes it so great, is that all of us have a chance to watch this. Of course, John Huff is no slouch to the tournament play. John Huff is a great bowler, and interestingly, he's leading. Did not bowl yesterday. Had practice balls here for 10 minutes and shoots 250. Think he's got a look? Great shot there by Spencer. Spencer throwing the ball very well tonight. That's got to be urethane. And a young lefty here who had 255 in game one. Now 2 opens in 4 frames with no doubles. All of a sudden now he's given 26 of it back. A little room on that lane. Struck on the first frame. Really tugging it, and that time he leaked it. So he does have some room. But right now, Barrett, who had 192 his first game, is shooting a .172 right now. So he's had trouble now. His last 3 games, he went 163 his last game last night, and 192. And here he's at a 181 pace, 163, 192, 181 pace. So that tells you they're not that easy. And Pulaski Jr., who won last night, now at a 160 pace, went back to the purple ball, and he's got a long way to go right now on this. He wants to get back in the hunt. And Covington, who shot 236 in game one, now at a 160 pace. So in 6 frames, he gave that back. So as you can see, they're not easy. They're not that easy. And there's Doherty right there. And that's urethane. You see what he's got. He's throwing a Brunswick urethane there. There's no doubt in my mind that is not resin. And we'll have him next game, which is great. You know, when the Kegel Company started to make all these patterns 20 years ago, what they did was they built a database up where they tested every pattern and then sent them out to proprietors who asked for them. Then they got the results back. And over a period of years, they had the results from thousands of bowling centers on their patterns and built up the greatest database in the history of bowling. Not only that, but because they knew the lane beds, when they were installed, one company made them, the oil that was being used, the pattern that was being used, and the machine that was being used, they developed this unbelievable knowledge through data for 20 years. And that was John Davis's dream. And when I worked there, he told me that. They started doing it in 99, 2000 when I was there, and then I was never involved again. But I was there at the beginning, and now we see the results of it. These are tested patterns. These patterns right here, they have all the data they need. And these are 30-year-old panels, and they know what that pattern's going to do on these panels as well. They can't predict winners, but they can predict scores. And right now, they seem to be, at least on these two pairs, very tough. They're not easy. And I like that. And if they keep changing over the course of the evening, and tomorrow we got 6 games instead of 4, they could be absolutely brutal by the 6th game tomorrow. Unless you're using something that doesn't have a migration core and a strong cover, which I really believe in the end, the weaker balls will prevail. Let's see what Barrett does here now. Look at this. Oh, got a break, and he needs it. And again, it makes up for the 100 rip 710s he's left in his life. So you finally get a break and roll a 4-pin forward, but you never get even because that guy's in the pocket all the time. He's got to get wrapped more than he gets breaks. See Uranus there. See how straight he was? Whatever that ball is, that is an interesting shot. He just roped it right up at the pocket. It never hooked. Might be plastic. It might be a entry-level urethane of some sort. Maybe low diff, low RG, weak cover, weak core, everything weak, where you can pipe it right up. And we'll find out when we watch Doherty next game. Gives us a real good idea what's going on because he's thumbless and whacks it. And if he's going up the lane, you know he's using something weak. Well, JJ invented some of these patterns, but he invented them based on the data that they already had. And that's a 20-year library. Well, JJ is a genius and a great sportsman and a great mind. And I'm glad a pattern was invented by great bowlers that have access to those statistics and data because they understand ball motion. And right now, this is a tough pattern, and I like it. And these bowlers like it. That's why it's a scratch event. You do not get rewarded for failure on this. Believe me. You make a bad shot, you're paying. If you can't make spares, you're paying. If you need 5 boards of area, you got a problem. Barrett almost got the 4-pin again. So he's holding his own, but nothing explosive. What we don't see is that 260 run yet to take the lead. And we're all waiting for it because we know, obviously, he's very capable of it. But right now, we don't see it. And Covington, who goes 230 in game 1, 236, shooting 167 if he stays clean and doesn't double in game 2. So he's dropped everything he had. So keep in mind, they are tough. Now the young left-hander here did catch a double. So he's at a 183 pace, 255 in game 1. He's still 38 over after 2. Interesting to see what Huff's got. If Huff goes another 250, he could run away and
bar, James to the snack bar.
It's a big shot for Eddie. Wants to put it out to stay close to 50 over. Oh boy. And now he's given 30 of it back. So he might be 170. So as you can see, at a 233 over here. But other than that, not much. The same two games last night. Pulaski was 537. And tonight, he's 380. One night later. So he's in trouble. Covington's in trouble. Now, Robert Hilton, who bowls very well in this house, can put this game out for 240. And he, right now, is fighting a bad shoulder. Gave it away right there. There's 32 pins. See that? Just got it in a board. Got all that tilt. Forget it. It's come off that oil. It's gone. If you're left at target, forget it. It will not hold. And Hilton to go 2-0. The Dominator with 211, just a little bit over 400. And the young left-hander that went 255, now at a 158 pace. So as you can see, folks, they're not easy. This young man here, decent game coming up here on lane 13. All right, 215, which is pretty good. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. Tomorrow, the big day. We'll be on the air at 11, hopefully. And competition starts at noon. We're expecting 80 bowlers, $2,000 for first place. They bowl 5 games. We cut to the top 25% of the field. They'll bowl a position round game, and the top 5 will make the step ladder. Nice out there for 224. Good shot by Covington. 177, went 236, so he'll be plus about 13 with the fill ball here. Now the young left-hander who went 255 in game one with one open has 4 opens in this game. He's had 5 opens in 21 frames. So, and the Dominator went out for 209 with a 192 start, so he's at 401. We'll have these scores up shortly. Yeah, we got a nice crowd here tonight, considering that we had a tough start. House is full. Only 6 lanes off for right here in the middle of the house. That's it. The rest of the house is going here on a Saturday night, so it's a decent night for us. But we really wanted to have our event today. For those of you that don't know, we had a little problem. So we are running a sweeper tonight. And tomorrow this tournament starts at noon. 2,000 guaranteed for first. Walter Ray will be back. Tom Doherty, Don Barrett, Evan Baranecki, Dave Stouffer, John Rukoski. A great crew. Tom Henke. Oh boy. Nope. No, there's no miss left at all. Dickie Grant at Akron, Ohio. My friend for close to 50 years, an ex-proprietor, great bowler. I hope the cameras on 9 and 10 will be back tomorrow. Jay, we don't have 1 through 8. We haven't had them all year, and unfortunately, they started the tournament on 1 through 8. And we did have 9 and 10, and now we got to fool with that in the morning. We've run into some technical issues with our low-end cameras. Today it was sound, and we're struggling with it. I want to apologize on behalf of all of us. It just hasn't been really what we wanted, but we're learning and trying our heart out. That's all I can tell you. It's frustrating, believe me. But the other side of the coin is we'll be ready tomorrow to do the best we can to give you a great show. And we appreciate all of you being patient with us and joining us. There's the great Tom Doherty. We're going to have a lot of fun now watching him the last 2, and Don Barrett. Robert Eddy, our owner and host, right there with his son. Well, thank you, Jay. You know how hard we try, honey. All of you, every bowler that comes in here are important to us. We don't look at average to determine anything more than the fact that we want all our customers to be comfortable, whether they're league bowlers, scratch bowlers, handicap bowlers, men, women, kids, open bowlers. They're all bowlers. The only difference is the score. Every customer is important to us, especially the ones that come here from Miami that take time out of their lives to drive that far to bowl with us. What an unbelievable honor that is, especially during the pandemic. Lots of bowlers from the East Coast coming here, and I know they feel good about the way we treat them. We love it. It's an honor. Somebody drives 150 miles to bowl in your center. Look at Doherty. Oh boy, look at that. Right up the back of the ball. See it? It's still hooked. Wow. See his hand position? Right up the back. No tilt, and it's still hooked early. Tom Henke coming up next. Tom Hankey's great. So as soon as these scores get in, we'll give them to you. Carlos Granados, good bowler. He's bowled well here before. Beautiful game. Watch the game on Carlos. Very nice game. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Strong too. Look at the size of him. Big in the upper body, big legs. Just lays on that thing. Power game. And the boss ripping the rack. There's the boss. Gabe Rowan. Very smooth here. Beautiful game. Beautiful stroke. Look at that stroke on Gabe Rowan. No, a little bit to the right. Now Darty talking to Granados. And I believe Darty's got urethane in his hand and he's trying to go right up the back. And he is a wizard out there. So let's see how he's handling this pair now after an open. Gave a little room, a little more kick. Boy, is he tough. Ooh. Watch the great Barrett right here. Watch him from the left. Hit it. It doesn't look like, and he said it yesterday, he has to bowl a lot. He practices a lot. He has to bowl a lot. And the only way you're going to do it is to be competitive. And, of course, a lot of these guys have been off, and especially in England where they can't bowl at all. So I don't know exactly how much time he didn't bowl, but I'll bet it was a lot, because if he likes to practice 4 or 5 days a week, he didn't practice for 5 months. So if that's the case, unless he found a place where he could sneak in at 4 in the morning, with the doors locked, think about it. There's a man that couldn't bowl professionally anywhere and can't practice anywhere, and he's never had that in his life. None of us have had that. So you can picture how he's thinking right now. Where's my stroke? What my hand do? Did my hand shrink? Do I need to change my grip? Am I squeezing the ball? Is there something wrong with my footwork? And it starts to go through your mind that obviously you're not bowling good. You're getting beat by amateurs, right? Got beat yesterday by several amateur bowlers. And he's going to go up against a pro field, in a few weeks. And he's got to start bowling literally every day and try to figure out exactly where he's losing that touch. Because where he's going from here ain't the house shot sweeper, believe me. He's going to bowl Belmonte and Tackett and Simonson for a living and Buttriff, and good luck. You better be sharp. You can't spot anything out there and expect to do well. That was great there. You know, you wonder what's going through his mind as he's walking back. You know, it's pretty nonchalant, but you could ask yourself, what's he thinking about? What did he think about that shot? Did he think it was good? Did he think it was bad? You know, and he's going to analyze it and find it. But you just don't know how they're thinking. No microphones on him. Nobody's talking to him. No, your hubby didn't come and say hi to me, Renee. Probably took one look at me and got scared to death.
Scores are up.
Scores are up. Here we go. Let's check them out. And there it is. Doherty taking the lead out of nowhere. 188-269. But other than that, if you look at the scores in game 2, 235, 236, and nothing. 0, nothing. And if you look down the list, Walter Ray, 200, 200. Barrett, 192, 209. Bobby Hamilton, 201, 200. Hilton, 203, 206. Garrett Wolf, 255, 156. As you can see, brutal scores other than Doherty's 269. The next high game, 236. Tom Hankey, the Wizard, out of Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Scott Cobb, 240, 180. Ron Hurt, 212, 214. Spencer Eddy, 250, 170. Chuck Noonan-Williams. Dennis Bush bowling good tonight. The owner of Lehigh Lanes. Where's Chris Keene, his partner? Down there, 177, 201. And what happened to Huff? Where's Huff's scores? They all in yet? Acted Huff bowling game 2. Where is he? How come I don't see his name? Oh, there it is. Excuse me. Missed him. 259, 189. So Huff staying close. Couldn't see Huff's name for a minute. Senior moment. Okay, back to action. If I forget the Huffer, he'll never forgive me. So Doherty, who goes 188, 269. And surprisingly enough, that one game might carry him to the win with a couple of 2-0s if these things stay ugly. I mean, I could see 880, 890 winning this thing right now. Of course, last night, Pulaski had 976, but got, went 781. Well, there's no 781s being thrown now. So it looks like it's still anybody's tournament. This is big for right now for Barrett. Why don't you get 240 this game, get back into the hunt. Oh boy, and a 10 wobble. Yeah, he's thinking. He's definitely got great composure. You can see it. Not going to let one shot rattle him. Oh, and look at Spencer Eddy. Oh boy. Did not want to do that. You know, in the old days, they didn't have sport shots, but they didn't have this equipment and they didn't have synthetics. It was different when the scores were low in the old days. It wasn't a pattern they put out knowing the results of, they just oiled them. They knew they were tough or they knew they were easy. Today it's so scientific that not only do you have to be a great bowler, you have to really understand those graphs, those numbers, and obviously transition. And I think that's where a lot of the talented and skilled bowlers get confused. They're talented and skilled, but they can't recognize transition as quick as the pros can. And they don't have a plan for it. That's just lack of knowledge. It's not lack of ability. And it's not lack of intelligence. It's lack of knowledge. And the only way is to keep bowling on it. And that's the most frustrating thing of all because you can't find it every day. So how do you practice on something you can't find? It becomes a problem. Wow, that's the second time in a row. He's really opened the lane up, caught it, and went light corners, and both could have been 7-10s. So he's close, but not striking. Ice Martinez watching, the Iceman. Welcome aboard, Ice. Congratulations on your grandson, my friend. Like I told you the other day, get him a 6-pound plastic T-zone. He'll be ready. Brunswick makes great T-zones. Let's watch this great veteran right here now. Now he's got, strike 2 9-drop strikes. He's close. Now this is big right here. Let's get a double. Wow, what a ball, huh? Strong man, 45 years old. He is a moose. And the whole scoreboard, Renee, you want to take a peek? There it is, honey. There it is. Ryan Waddell at 341. That's the whole board. That's it. That's everybody. We had 50 tonight. I didn't think we had that many. That's a pretty good show up. You can bet we'll have more tomorrow. Oh boy. You can just see the frustration. I mean, this guy's great. And that's 3 games in a row on this pattern. And this is his 4th game. He's got 163. 192, 209. 163, 192, 209, right? And 83 in the 5th. So he's looking at about 760 on it for 4 going into tomorrow. So when you think about that, and ask yourself, is he sharp? Absolutely not. Is he great? Absolutely he is. But he hasn't had a chance to do a lot of bowling because everything is closed in the United Kingdom. So obviously we have a situation where he's searching, trying to get a feel, trying to understand his swing, his release, his walk, his shoulders, his back angle, his release point, the plane of his swing, the equipment to use, his grip. And if he's thinking about 40 things, hopefully he isn't. But if he is, that's called a lockup. There's just too many things to think about. And all of us know it can't be that tough. But it is when you're not bowling good. Sometimes you overthink. The secret to Mark Roth was he never overthought. And he had this uncanny ability to know his body feel, as good as any right-handed power player in history. He once went 53 PBA stops with a check, missed a week, and then cashed 29 more. And the week he missed by a pin. And when he was Bowler of the Year 3 years in a row in 77, 8, and 9, all he did is beat Earl Anthony and Marshall Holman every week for 3 years to do that, to win Bowler of the Year. And he never had a slump. Same with Walter Ray up until maybe 5 years ago. I don't think Walter Ray ever had a slump. And some of these guys that have been able to do that, they're far and few between. Most bowlers have slumps, even the great ones. If somebody's got 6 in a row here, let's watch Doherty first. He is on a triple, and he's starting to figure it out now. Keep in mind, he went 269 last game. Oh boy, how's that? That's called hello, I'm Tom Doherty, and I got urethane in my hand, and how do you like it? And Julian Harridan throwing it really good. Nice game for Julian. I've known Julian many years. Nice to see him throwing the ball good tonight. And the Nuna with sparing 6. Chuck Williams, one of our local players. Chuck is loved. Everybody loves Chuck. They call him the Nuna. I'd like to be called that. That's the Nuna, Gary Fox. The Nuna. Got a very good group on tonight. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us here at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes, and that's Robert Eddy on lane 14, the man responsible for the rebuild here this tournament. He added 1,000. Oh, look at that leave. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry I gave you the Litchi kiss of death. I'm talking about Robert. He leaves the 245 with the 10. Oh no, that's the Litchi kiss if there ever was one. Anyways, Robert coming up with an extra 1,000 on top tomorrow because of the delay in the event. Hey, that a boy, Robert. Robert bowling a clean. Oh no, he got an open in the fifth, getting high-fived. And he is an unbelievable entrepreneur. And an interesting story as to why he bought this bowling center. He was bowling somewhere and didn't like it. And one day wasn't treated too good by somebody behind the desk who wasn't too smart. And he was in there with his wife and kid, and they wouldn't give him a lane. And he said, well, I sponsor a league here. And they said, so what? Look at Doherty. Well, when they said, so what, he went out and bought a bowling center. That's all. He doesn't have to wait for lanes anymore. And took this place and is going through it like Grant went through Richmond. Boy, beautiful shot there. See that ball deflect? That's 6 right in the flat. You see what Barrett did? He moved right. See that? Moved about 7, 8 right. Another ball. Definitely controlled the heads. And caught a triple. And maybe that's what he has to do tomorrow, is square it up, get straighter through the front. Julian Harridan with 6 in a row out of Miami, longtime bowler in the Miami area. Throws the ball really nice. Nice to see him bowling well. Doug Kirk watching tonight. Fred McFarland, welcome aboard. Don O'Malley, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining us. Rick Wilbur, you're using the eyeball, Rick? Why, did you need a third eye, Rick? Tom Dyshich, you're at a yacht open house. Boy, if I wasn't working tomorrow, I'd love to be there. I love yachts. Tom, do they play Yahtzee on yachts? I'd like to know. Christian Butler? On. Doug Clark. Mike Hahi. And David Stouffer's watching tonight at his wife's 50th birthday party. Let's watch Doherty now, the great Doherty, who has got 5. Now, keep in mind, he bumped the last game. He goes 188, 269. You think he found something? I mean, he is gifted. Keep this in mind. If he gets a look, it's over. I mean, he's one of these guys that right now he's got the look. He fiddles 188, 269. And here he goes, a little high strike, couple of wraps. And the last couple were snowblower rip racks. Let's see what he does here. Now he pushes it right up to the top of his head. Look at that right there. And then watch this thing. Oh my God, if he's got that, it's over. He can hit it. Not a lot of tilt. And he looks like right now he's going to open up a massive lead going into tomorrow. And keep in mind, he's won here already. The Dominator now with 4 in a row. Change balls, rolling up the back of the ball, not overhooking the heads like he was. And he might have found a little something here. Watching Doherty. He's got to be watching Doherty. How could he not? Ooh, that ball, see, it stopped. See, they're still touchy. As hard as he hit it, it did not make the turn. It looked like he only missed the board right. See, it's not like he's got a lot of room, but he just shot 500 the last two, so obviously he will now be a factor tomorrow if they're anything like this. There it is, Big Tom Doherty with 234. They go right at about 690 the first three with a 188 start, so he's looking great right now. Let's watch Julian Harridan now and see if he can put it out. Oh, he opened the 10th, no good. Chuck Williams now wants to make this, does not want to end with 2 out of 3 opens. And Spare is very tough on this. And then Luna tried to flatten it out. Now to dominate right at about 401. To put this out for 233, and he'd be about 57 behind Doherty, so I don't think he has much of a chance to win it. But this is the first time now in 3.5 games where it looks like he's got a little something to work on for tomorrow. And he's definitely standing farther right. He's standing about 23 with the left foot. And that looks fantastic now. She's taking his hand out of it, rolling up the back of the ball. And for the first time since he's been here, it looks like he's got a look. And he's fished now. You figure 4 games yesterday, 2.5 today, not really had a lot. All of a sudden changed balls, rolling up the back of it, and he's got a look. He's got a look. Oh, talking to himself a little bit. But it's better. Not enough to win, but something to work on for tomorrow. And that's why he's here, to work on his game and get sharp for the Tournament of Champions, PBA Tournament Champions, which will be held in Jupiter, Florida, and the World Series of Bowling, which will also be held here in Florida. So these guys are going to be around here for a few months, which I'm sure they don't mind. Number one, bowling's open, and number two, they can play golf if they don't want to bowl. Take a boat ride, go to the beach, go fishing. And if they're really daring, they could come in here and ask me for a few Larry stories from the 70s and 80s. I don't know if they want that. I don't want to corrupt these young boys. They all seem very nice. Look at the scores now on 19 and 20. That's the first time I've seen anything that looks like that in 2 days. Look, 2-0, 220, 220, 220. We're at a 195 low. So that's interesting. Just that alone tells you that they might be taming down a little on that pair. And of course, that's where Barrett's going next. Frank Giannino on the Detroit Stroke. Mike Janasic, Paxton Johnson. Robbie McDonald, who thinks I'm funny. Looking. Keep in mind, we'll be on the air tomorrow at 11. We're going to try and get 9 and 10 going tonight, 11 and 12, as soon as we can get off the air. We just couldn't fool with it. We were working on it for about an hour before the show started. Then we lost the sound. We rebooted and got the sound back. So, again, technically, trying to make it better. We do have cameras to the right that work here, but we kept 6 lanes away from the open bowlers. But as you can see, we could have went this way, but the problem with that is we have this on the other side of it, and we don't need ramps and bumpers in their 4th game, so our tournament directors really had no choice but they maybe could have went to one more black pair, which might have helped a little. They probably could have went to 21 and 2, but we concentrate on making sure that our best bowlers had no distractions, and I got to agree with that. I wish we could have used those lanes. We could have given you a lot more views. We should be able to do that tomorrow. So, again, I want to apologize for only having these 2 cameras working. You know the old saying, sometimes you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. We put the bowlers 2 more pairs over here, and we got ramps out there, so it's like, wait a minute, what do you do? No, tomorrow, Leon, we're on the air at 11 Eastern Time. The tournament starts at 12 tomorrow. If I said anything different, I want to apologize for that. And very frustrating for me when we have issues that we're trying to clean up, and it just then get on the air and try to keep all of you interested, which is our main concern. Now, there's Tom Hankey. Now, keep in mind, Hankey, a great collegiate at Weber, and has won this event. And he bowls on sport shots and sport patterns all day long at Kegel. Walter's down the low end. Robbie, we started them low. We probably could have got them on 9, 10, 11, and 12, but we lost that camera and we couldn't get it going, and airtime came about. We had it working when we got here, and then all of a sudden it went out. It caught us off guard. We don't know why, but that's the problem is we got fooled. It works and then it stops. It's like my spare shooting. Now Barrett right there, all of a sudden, if you'll notice, his last 5, 6 shots now, a little sharper.
Here you go, Gabe.
Well, thank you, Renee. You all know how much I try. I don't like anything to go wrong. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this, but I've got a great crew helping me, Wayne Toplin and my son, and it's just been a little shaky the last few weeks where we just can't get it 100%. And when we do, it seems like it doesn't last long. And it's just part of the world of computers until we can figure it out. I'm going to watch Doherty right here. Then we'll watch Barrett come up. Now, Doherty did start with a strike, and he is our tournament leader. Scores will be up shortly. We'll show you all of them. Well, let's watch this great champion from Tampa. A little north of Tampa right now. Zephyr Hills somewhere out there. Wesley Chapel somewhere out there. North side of Tampa. Wow, interesting. Looks like he went to resin, opened the lane up deep. Was he good? Ooh, the Dominator with the trip 4. Yeah. Always nice to triple
Manager
4.
to the bar, please. Manager to the bar.
Hi, Jerry. Let's watch this great player now. Oh, really? Look at this shot. Wow, see, he's got resin, and he's swinging the heads from out. And I haven't seen that all day, and he's found something now. And, boy, I'll tell you, he's gifted. He goes from urethane to that. And, again, just a remarkable, gifted player to make that move like that. And no one has played the lanes like that. Wow. Okay. As you can see now, Barrett, for the first time in a couple of days, looks like all of a sudden, hello, here I am. And you can see he started with a triple, and that's the first game he's done that in about 5 games. So, with Doherty and Barrett starting to get lined up a little bit, an interesting scenario is developing. And you know these guys, when they find it, forget it. You can't keep up with them when they find it. There's Walter Ray. We missed him by one. Again, I just wish I had 9, 10, 11, 12 on. We would have had him. So, but we'll have him tomorrow, I can assure you, folks. As soon as this stream is over, we're going to work on those cameras tonight and see if we can figure this out. So tomorrow we will be ready for you. Okay, Mary. We're going to watch Barrett throw this ball, and I'll give you all the scores. This is Barrett for 4 in a row. And as soon as he makes this shot, we'll get the scores up for you. Oh boy, missed that one. See it? Just didn't catch it. And there it is, John Huff with the lead, tied with A.J. Wallenstenholm, 694 apiece. Doherty, 691. Hankey, 656. Charlie Bostic, 648. Chuck Williams and Nuna with 3 deuces, 644. Brad Zelinski, 635. Ryan Johnson, 630. Don Barrett, 623. Garrett Wolf, 623. And if you'll notice the scores in Game 3, very interesting. Everybody over 200, but one bowler in the top 9. So it looks like they're figuring them out. They might be taming down a little less violent on the back end. Scott Cobb, Robert Spencer Eddy, 612. Dave Covington, 617. But right now, 3 bowlers, 3 pins apart. Doherty, Wallenstenholm, and John the Huffer. John Huff, a very good bowler, a USBC Eagle winner in 1994, Team All Events winner. Greg Esty watching, Elaine Medugno, welcome aboard. So it's Doherty, Huff, and Wallenstenholm bowling for the win in Game 4. Wow, what a shot he's got. He can swing 10-3. I mean, he can just open the lane up now, and if he's got that, folks, that's unstoppable. If he's got that crossing this house, it's unstoppable. See Barrett, he started moving left again, opening the lane up, and he ran into trouble. He was farther right, up the back of the ball more. Now he started moving left, trying to hook it more. He goes 3, 6, 9, 10, and this time here through the nose. But he started moving left where he was throwing his other ball from, and all of a sudden ran into trouble again. Just in, out, not sure. And again, that's what a lot of us have when we're not sharp. We second guess ourselves, and we run into problems. Walter Ray running him out. Frank Wilson, one of our league bowlers there, throwing it pretty good. Nice to see Frank bowling tonight with Tom Hankey. Three-man race to win the tournament. It's $750 for first, plus brackets, etc. So right now Doherty wants to double here. He's 3 pins out of first. Wow, look where that ball's coming back from. Boys, he got a stroke with that. Unbelievable. Now we'll watch the Dominator again, struggling again here. Had it going a little bit, started with a triple, but he's way left again now, opening the lane up. And there it is, got that over-under. And he's got Larry Carey. Larry Carey, I'm the grandson of Harry Carey, who was the grandson of I Never Carey. And if any of you followed that, good luck. Hankey right there. Great champion. No, 5 count. See, look at that. Just as good as he is. Obviously made a bad shot, had a 999, and there's 5. Just, it seems like they're getting fooled enough that even though they're lined up, they give it back. The only one right now looking sharp enough on this is Doherty. And he's not the guy you want to get loose right now. He feels he's got to look here, it's over. Let's go back to the scores real quick. And Doherty, keep in mind, 3 out, shooting 227. So Huff, who had a bad second game, but look at his first and third games, 505. Great bowling for Huff, right? And then Hankey right there, but struggling a little bit. So it looks like it's a 3-bowler race now with Huff, Walston, Home, and Big Tom. And this is a big ball right here because this could very well keep him in the lead. I don't think any of the other bowlers that Huff or the other fellow would have to have all of them to go around him. So let's see what he gets here. Ooh, that's out there. Oh, it held, and he almost tripped it. And he said, I missed by a foot. Boy, if he's got that kind of room, look out. That's scary. Mike Boyd, there are spots available tomorrow. In the words of that famous game show that they used to say, come on down. Larry Carey is the best. You like that, Phil Bondi? Well, my job is to throw a little sense of humor in there. You know, after all, this is just a sweeper. It's not the Tournament of Champions. So we want to have a little fun if we can. Phil, I never told you that I used to play the piano. I don't know if I ever told you that. It was made by Texas Instruments. It was called the Calculator. I used to love pushing the keys on the calculator when I made money in my life. I love that kind of piano. All right, Robert Eddy, now our owner, the man who gave me a job, who will be questioned for the rest of his life on lane 16. Again, a great week here at Lightning Strikes with sweepers last night, tonight, and of course our Tuesday and Wednesday league. So we didn't live stream Thursday, but we live streamed Friday and Saturday night. We will live stream tomorrow. So in essence, 5 of the last 6 days live streaming for all of you. And even though we're not 100% up there tonight with cameras, I'm still so glad we were able to do this with all of you and be with you tonight, of course. Got a lot of friends on there tonight that I really want to thank. Renee Waddell, Cooper Gates, for being with me so much when we do this. Ashley Schwartz, Ron Richards, good friends of mine that are always on, and I want to thank all of you for being with us tonight. Huff is down the low end, John, and we haven't been able to get him. But the Huffer right now in the hunt with Doherty, and let's see what Doherty's got now. Doherty on a strike can put this game out for 257, so Huff would need 260 to tie. Keep that in mind now. If Doherty goes out for 257, Huff needs 260 to tie him. Robbie, I don't know. I don't do that. I don't do the brackets, Robbie. Again, I'm just happy to be up and running tonight. There's a lot of whys out there, and I understand that, but I don't have time to ask Mary. And unfortunately, I have to just try and do the best I can right here. But for all of you, if you can pull up tournament.com, tournamentbowl.com, the brackets aren't up. Maybe there weren't any brackets. I don't know. I really don't know. I think the bowlers were just happy to bowl tonight. You know, Robert did put added money in because of the delay this morning, and put added money in tomorrow, adding $1,000 to the first place prize, so it's $2,000 tomorrow. But anybody that knows Robert Eddy realizes the commitment that he has to the local bowlers and tournament players of Florida and this country. That's why the PBA Tour is coming here in March and April. Our March scratch event, this event a month from now, $2,500 guaranteed first, and 2 months from now, $5,000 guaranteed first. That's right, you heard me, $5,000 2 months from now at the end of March. that right there means Huff needs at least 238 to tie. If Doherty goes 9 spare strike. So we don't know about Wollaston House. That's the gentleman's name. What was his name here? Wolstenholme. He's tied with Huff. I don't know about that gentleman's scores right now either. But right now it's really in the hands of Doherty, because Doherty can strike out for 257, which means they need both of them need, Huff and Wolstenholme need 260 to tie him. Well, that could be very tough. Well, we will find out shortly. Bill Montevena watching. Hello, my friend. Nice to have you aboard tonight. Bill Montevena, longtime salesman for Classic Products. Avid bowler. And been in the business a long time. He is a veteran of the wars. And Bill is so tough, he had to put up with me for 9 years in the pro shop business. When I sold my business, Bill went, thank God. I don't have to deal with Litchie anymore. I've had enough of him. But lo and behold, you got me again, Bill. You lucky devil, you. Ha 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 ha. He's back. There.
No, well, Wayne.
Okay. Keep in mind now, Doherty up next behind Robert Eddy. If he triples, both Huff and Wolstenholme need 260 to tie him if he triples. And I don't have those bowlers on camera. I don't know their scores. So I like Doherty's chances to win it right here with a double. We're going to watch Barrett now, who again caught a late double. You can see he's not 100%, but he's fishing out there, and we all know how great he is. And again, you got to understand, I think he's at a disadvantage. From what I understand, he has not bowled a lot because everything is closed in England. So it's going to take him a little while, but he'll practice hard, work hard, and probably win tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. That's beautiful there. See, he's fishing, working, fishing. Very serious player. All right, here we go for the win right here. A triple should be the shutout. He does not want to open. Whoa. Wow, 6 in the flat gutter. As hard as that ball was coming, did you see that? With that rev rate, that entry angle, and again, that's what makes this house so interesting. That was a great shot, okay? And what happens is he makes a great shot and leaves the 10. He's got to make this, and now they both need 234 if he strikes to beat him. Either bowler with 234 can beat him. So again, an interesting scenario. So with 236, he was 3 pins out of first, 2 694s, and his 691 Okay, that's 235. They need 233 to beat them. Either one of them gets 233 this game. They go around them. So we'll be looking for that score. It was great bowling by Tom Doherty. Great player. And there it is. Doherty with 235 to go 926. 926 Doherty. That's in the bank. And we'll find out about the other two players shortly. So Tom Doherty's going to come in the booth and say hello to everybody.
Okay, as you're loading them, I'm hitting enter. So
Yeah,
you can do
okay.
it now.
Okay, I will. All right, we got the great Tom Doherty coming in. Nice performance.
Thank you.
I like the moves out there. Urethane
Yeah.
going in the last game and then went to a different ball.
Yeah, it was. I bowled 230 game 3 with urethane, but it was kind of like a smoke and mirrors. There was a couple lucky strikes on
How
good
do you
shots.
how do you know that?
I could just tell. I can tell when it's
How do you know?
just ball motion, the way the ball enters the
You
pins.
see it.
It's the way the balls enter the pins.
I was amazed by that move.
I was kind of thinking about doing it. If I would have missed one more time, I probably would have switched.
Yeah.
I was hoping to double in the 10th.
Yeah.
So I could get a fill ball, and that's what I was thinking about. That's why I threw a bad shot. So I still threw it at the 2-8-10.
Yeah.
And it did what I thought I was gonna do. So I was just gonna go with it.
We want to thank you for bowling tonight with
Yeah.
the delay. It was really
Yeah.
nice of you to stay around.
I actually was on my way up here with Jesper Svensson because he
Yeah.
was staying at my house all week.
Yeah.
And then when everything got delayed, he was just like, let's just go to Jupiter. So I actually drove all the way across the state to
No.
Jupiter, dropped him off, and I was gonna stay the night there and then drive over in the morning if
Yeah.
I felt like it.
Yeah.
And I was like, once I dropped him off, I'm like, man, I just go tonight,
That's
get
a lot
there.
of miles. It's a
Oh
400
my
mile
God.
ride from.
It was crazy.
From where?
I went Tampa to here to Jupiter back to here.
Oh my God.
So just to jog.
How'd you bowl that good?
I should get good karma for being nice to Jesper. So
Well,
we'll see.
I'm glad you. It looks like you're going to win. I mean, they need 230, 233, either one of them to go around.
Yeah, they're bowling 173. So,
So you gotta-
it all depends if someone down low bowls
Yeah.
big 270
Of
or
course,
something.
Robert
maybe.
added a little money tonight and added 1,000 a
He's
month.
unbelievable.
You know about next month it's 2,500
Yeah.
and then the next month 5,000.
Yeah, it depends on the.
It depends on
the PBA
where
schedule.
you're going.
Yeah, it's good. I will be here.
Well,
If it's, I will change my flight around to make sure. I
if
can
you're
be here.
not, you'll be on TV out there.
Hopefully, yeah. So
Now
we'll see.
you made the top 5 last weekend.
I did, I
for
did.
the roll-up.
I did.
Now what's first place in that tournament?
$250,000.
Now what about winning last week? What does it get you
It gets us on. We're in the top 5, and 5th place is 10,000.
from last week?
Yeah, so I'm in the first match. If I lose, I get $10,000.
You lose now. What if you win the first match?
It doesn't go up much. It's all top heavy, so it's like 10, 11, 13, 15, and then the big match is the end because if you win that, you're guaranteed 50.
And who are you going to bowl?
I got to bowl Dick Allen in the first match.
Got to bowl Dick Allen.
Yeah.
I like Dick Allen.
Yeah,
he's
a
a
Did
cool
you say
guy.
you like Dick? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Dick Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
wondering. I don't know if I heard you.
But you did hear me. You just imagine.
Got him.
Say anything you want here.
Yeah, I know.
We're a family show.
I understand.
Well, it's great to have you with us. And
Thanks.
Robert Eddie's something else.
He's unbelievable.
Look at how nice the house
He's
looks.
the reason why I keep coming back.
I know. He's the reason why we're all here.
Yes, he's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I would have been feeding pelicans in a senior park if it wasn't for him. So, you know, he gave me a life too.
Yeah,
Believe me.
he's
And
awesome.
He's wonderful. And so now you go to Jupiter for the Tournament of Champions.
Yep.
And then the World Series of Bowling is where?
Back in Tampa,
Back
where
in-
we bowled last weekend.
What a bonus that is for you.
It's been a long time
Oh my God.
since I got to bowl at home.
You've got
so.
6 PBA events in Florida. Well, there's 5 at the World Series.
Correct.
And the Tournament of Champions.
And basically, I didn't have to leave Florida to bowl for this one either, the 250, because the qualifying was in
'Cause the
Tampa
qual-
and Jupiter.
Oh, my
so
God.
I didn't have to leave Florida. I have to travel once this year, and that's a fly out to
We
Reno
might
for
become the
Bowlers.
home of the PBA.
That
You
would be
never know.
awesome. Right here at Lightning Strikes.
Well, you never know. I tell you one
Great.
thing. Robert would have you guys here.
In a heartbeat.
You know Robert would.
I know.
He don't fool around.
He don't.
No, Robert wants to be around the best. That's the way he thinks.
Yep.
And he has a mindset to be with you guys. He
He's
does.
awesome.
He's going to be.
He's got the senior stop coming.
He's got
so
the
that's cool.
senior stop, the non-champions, and then of course he's got the senior stop. And we want the young boys too. We want the flamethrowers.
I know.
We want the rev
I would
rates
love
here.
to come back here.
We want the
trust me.
rev rates here. We want to watch them go back and forth a few times. But anyways, great to have you with us. We'll see you in the morning, of course. Thank you for coming back.
I'll be
today.
here. Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a horse right there, folks. Oof. That's a mean mammal. Anyways, what a bowler, huh? Dave Stouffer watching. My dear friend, happy birthday, Tammy. Congratulations, Tammy, on putting up with David. I hope this is on your live stream in your living room, my dear. You get the Woman of the Year award, Tammy, just for the record. All right. Let's see what we got here now. Come on over here. Come sit with me. Come sit with me and do an interview with Larry. Get over here, you big Nuna. I'm going to get my friend Nuna in with me. Now, Nuna is a veteran. Nice to see you bowling.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want to ask you some questions. You're a product of Southwest Florida Bowling,
Yes,
junior
sir.
league, junior leagues to now.
Been bowling here since I was 5.
I don't want to ask you how old that is, so how long you been bowling here?
Well, let's see. I'm 53 now.
48 years you've been bowling here?
Yes, sir, I have been.
Wow, and you started junior leagues here.
Yes, I did.
And that's fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yes,
I knew it was a while. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, Gold Crown Lanes.
At Gold Crown Lanes over on Palm Beach.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's where I started.
Well, I'm glad you're still bowling.
Yeah.
You don't look too bad, you know. Starting to get a little sharper.
I'm getting there.
You're all right.
You know, I don't know how to bowl. I don't know how to bowl with weight loss, man.
Still a little gas in the tank.
Yeah, a little bit.
So now, what do you do for a living? You once told me.
Tell
our viewers.
I work for Home Tech.
Home Tech.
Yeah, we do heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical.
Heating,
and
air
appliances.
conditioning. You don't do toupees, do you?
No, we don't do toupees.
Well,
But
me and
you
Ricky
never know.
Ward, your two fellow lefties are interested.
I'm not far.
Look at that. You still got a little left for a left-hander.
I do.
Anyways, I'm glad you're bowling. Good for you.
Hanging in.
Good for you. Good
Hanging
for you.
in.
Good for you. Good to see you here.
I love it when they get the big guys in, gets my juices flowing a little bit.
Well, we
again.
got some friends now. You know, the word's out. They can come in here and feel pretty good.
Yeah,
You know, Robert loves them, and we're honored. And obviously, all of us are honored. The locals are honored. You know, when you're in a tournament with Don Barrett and Walter Ray, and you know, you're a local player, and you look to your left, there's the greatest bowler ever lived. You look to your right, there's a U.S. Open winner from England. And
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, Rhino Page was here, and Matt McNeil was here, and I know you. Anyways, nice to meet you.
Ryan found his spot tonight. He's making step ladder.
Okay. Anyways, congratulations on your career. I'm glad you still enjoy it.
No, I do.
And that's part of it. You
I
know,
do.
if anybody bowling 48 years, that's called a lifer, just for the record.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do it till the yellow lid
And
show.
you're a lifer, and I'm a lifer. You know, we've been in bowling alleys all our lives. I'm the king of the bowling alley rats.
Okay.
I got 60 years in bowling centers.
Mm-hmm.
You get 5, 6 stars next to your name now, because every decade you get a star for being a bowling alley rat. You're almost 5 stars.
I'll be there.
You're right behind me,
Yes,
bro.
sir. I'm coming.
Wow.
I'm coming.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
And you're bowling tomorrow, of course?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
I'll be here.
Thanks for sitting with me.
Well, thank you for asking.
My pleasure.
Always great to sit with a Hall of Famer.
Well, I'm a Hall of Shamer, and there it is. We're going to take a look right now, folks, and see what we got here. Mary's going to be doing scores, and there it is. Check it out. Doherty in a runaway. Look at that. And look what happened to where is Huff's scores? They're not in yet. Okay, we got to wait for Huff, and we got to wait for Ryan Johnson, Scott Cobb. Some of those bowlers down there are not in yet. Walston home, 173 to fall out. Garrett Wolf coming back after the 156 in his second game. Look at Doherty's last 3 games, like the veteran that he is. 768. Is that 768? 69? No. 6903. 738. It's great bowling for Doherty. Luis Lamarche. Look at his last 3 games. 24, 26, 55. For a 160 start to go 865. Very good bowling for Luis. Carlos Grandos, that throws the ball really well. Second game, 155. You know, if that's 220, look at his score. He's knocking at the door. Okay, here we go. Let's get him in there. We're still waiting. Waiting for John Huff's scores to come in. The great veteran, formerly out of Syracuse, New York, winning team all events total. 1994. That's 45 games. 5 bowlers bowling 9 games apiece. Great Syracuse team winning that year. I love Syracuse. Was there many times in my life at the PBA Tour in the 70s and 80s. Of course, I was everywhere with the PBA Tour in the 70s and 80s. No Jesper tomorrow, Robbie. Jesper wanted to go over to Jupiter and hang out, and I can understand that. And let's go back to the scores and see what we have here. But it looks like Doherty's a lock win. Look at Chris Keene coming on the last game, the veteran, the owner of Lehigh Lanes. Look at his last 2, 481 at the age of 60, was 399, 378 the first 2, 481 the second 2. Looks like he found a little something. John Huff, terrible end. Look at that. Got to be very disappointed. Great bowler. Again, hit the wrong pair at the wrong time. And look at the scores everybody had other than Walston home, who was leading, and Huff, who was leading. Both bowlers were tied for the lead at 694, and a 173 and a 155, and everybody went around them. Lost a lot of wood there. Walter A. Williams, the veteran, 200, 207, 231 to sneak in for a few bucks. Tom Hankey first out. And again, pretty good group tonight. 50 bowlers bowling. Tomorrow we're expecting 80. And obviously Doherty, who was won here and won this tonight, will be the favorite tomorrow, no doubt about it. He's got the house wired. He bowls great here. But with Barrett in there and Alshire and Stouffer and, of course, Rakowski, anything can happen. Again, we got a nice group down the low end down there. A lot of autograph signers right now. Walter Ray's got a line of people in front of him. And we want to thank all of you, of course, for being with us. Steve Ferraro. Ryan Waddell scores, Renee. Let's see what we can find out for Ryan. And Ryan struggled tonight, it looks like, or they're not in yet. Let's see. Ryan Waddell, let's see what we got. And we're still waiting. Ryan Waddell with 782. Bowled pretty good the last two games. Might have got an idea what to do. 214, 227. A very good last two games on this pattern. Believe me, they don't fall by themselves. Those are good games. But there it is, the great champion Tom Doherty taking the win tonight. Mark Pulaski Jr. taking the win last night. So obviously they'll be ready tomorrow for the big money, $2,000 for first place. Mark Pulaski Jr. is ready tomorrow. Don Barrett close tonight. Nothing real impressive, but as you can see, 2-0, 220, 220, just grinding, fiddling, trying to figure out a way to find it, if you will. And I'm sure he will find it. Again, a great group tonight. We got a lot of you watching. We want to thank all of you. All right, we're going to call it a night. Going to call it a night, and we will be on the air tomorrow morning at 11. Tournament starts at 12. Should have some more interviews for all of you tomorrow. Again, I want to thank all of you for being with us this evening. Thank you for your patience. We'll try to have some more cameras up. We'll be talking to our tournament director. We'll try to start the lanes a little farther to the right where we get all the cameras in use tomorrow. Again, I want to thank you. And as usual, we want to wish all of you a lot of good luck and good bowling. Oh, we're going to watch Mary.
Thank you guys so much for coming. I know it was a long
Mary's
day.
going to make some presentations. Let's see if she's going to hand out some money.
Long time, stuff like that. I really do appreciate your dedication to our event. If you have not already told me you are bowling tomorrow before you leave, please let me know, because I will be doing late assignments very late tonight. So, without further ado, we are paying out. In 10th place, receiving $50 with a score of 836 is Carlos Granados.
So we're going to move the camera here. Bear with us. It's the only camera we got, so I'm going to move it.
In 9th place, receiving $60.
And Mary handing out the money.
By 2 fans is Mr. Walter Ray Williams.
And there's Walter Ray, the great one, coming up here to get one of the biggest checks of his life, a $60 check for Walter Ray.
Walter, I'll give it to you in a minute. In 8th place, receiving $70 is Mr. Don Bear with a score of 845.
And there's the great veteran, Don Barrett. Big smile. Check him out.
Don will be here tomorrow.
And Don will be here tomorrow for the big money.
In 7th place, receiving $80 with a score of 847 is Mr. Garrett Wolf. Way to go, Garrett.
Garrett Wolf with some money. Threw it real good in game one. 255 out of the chute. There's the great veteran, John Huff. Had to be very disappointed on his last game.
John Huff.
But he is a player, and he will be back.
It's happening. It's happening.
I'm showing everybody. See, there's my new booth that we're going to be in, that white thing. That should be used in a few weeks. All these cameras will be relocated. Our monitors in that white booth. It's going to be, and we're going to have sponsorship on it. We're selling that sponsorship for that booth. There's the great John Huff right there. And John Huff, you want to sit with me? Come on, come talk with me. Let me get John Huff in here with all of you folks. The great veteran, dear friend of mine. Let me get the Huffer in here for all you people from the Syracuse area who know John Huff, a great player. And I'm going to ask John Huff about his new job. Had a chance to win this thing, too. Just bowled bad the last game, but was in the lead. Drew a tough pair. Anyways, you were right there knocking at the door, and all of a sudden 150 out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Well, I was off camera and you didn't see all the.
I'm glad I didn't watch the last game. I wish I watched the first three, but we didn't have cameras down there.
So I had at least 5 gutters.
Come on.
I haven't played this far out in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I pulled the ball out of my trunk.
Congratulations on your new position.
Thank you.
So now you're running Woodside lanes, correct?
Headpins, Naples.
Headpins, Naples.
Yeah.
And
Entertainment Center.
is that the first time you've ever run a bowling center? Is this
It is.
It is
My
the first time?
bowling center.
So, and how many years you been bowling?
50.
Been bowling 50 years, and now you're going to run a center.
Yeah.
How about that? That's unbelievable.
I learned a few things in my my career, so hopefully I can apply.
Well, you're a lifer. You can run a center. You've been around the block.
Looking forward to it.
You're no rookie.
Nope.
And you're going to bowl tomorrow, of course?
I am.
Yeah.
I just came tonight. I haven't bowled a lot.
Yeah.
I bowl 3 games a week, and
Yeah.
I work a lot. And
Yeah. You still throw it great. You got a great game.
Game 3, I went gutter, spare, 4-bagger, gutter, spare, 5-bagger for 246.
With 2 gutters.
Yes, on strikes. Yes.
In the words of Bob Euchre, you just missed a little to the right.
I did a little.
Just
bit, yeah.
a little bit to
Actually,
the right.
It was a lot.
Yeah,
I'm looking at 5 and I hit the gutter. Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's how the lefties played. I used to look at 5 and hit the gutter all the time. But I was left-handed, though. You righties are supposed to be more accurate.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting big things tonight, but once I was actually tied for the lead after 3, and I was like, what the heck?
I saw it. Didn't surprise me. This guy's been around the block. He's no rookie. You can bowl.
One less gutter and I would have got second.
Well, anyways, I want to congratulate you on your new career.
Thank you.
And good luck tomorrow. We'll have the cameras on you.
Appreciate it.
Just don't throw any in the gutter.
I'll try it. I thought I read somewhere in the rules that bumpers. We're using the bumpers tomorrow.
Only for left-handers.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Great John Huff. Great player. Eagle winner at the USBC 27 years ago. Tough Huff. All right. I guess we're going to call it a night. We are going to be on the air at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, so we want to say thank you to all of you for watching. Again, we want to wish you a lot of good luck and good bowling. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11. Thank you.